What are you saying? What are you telling us? Nobody is above the law. Not even the president.
Not even the president. But I do think that Mr. Amidu's petition, although well laid out, does not go far enough to justify an investigation or a committee being set up, because I don't think a prima facie case necessarily exists apart from the procurement issue.
You are seeking to do the Chief Justice's work for her.
Well, okay,
She's the one to determine if there's a prima facie case.
Of course, but so perhaps we should help her this morning. For instance, let's look through his grounds and the fact that when you're looking at the Special Prosecution Act 2017, Martin Amidu can be, or the new special prosecutor can be removed for absolute misbehavior or incompetence, or conduct that brings or is likely to bring the office of the special prosecutor into disrepute or ridicule. And with the grounds laid out by Mr. Amidu, I don't think it is satisfied for a prima facie case, apart from the procurement issue, because his office is supposed to investigate procurement issues. And if he himself has committed that crime and it can be proven, then that is a potential ground for removing him. But for instance, inducing staff from sister law enforcement agencies, I don't think in the context of his office is wrong, because having worked at the Attorney General's Department myself, the drive when I was there to recruit was to recruit new and the best, and foreign, local, and people who were specialized, particularly for the international team. And this is an effort of the special prosecutor who was head of chambers or a member of chambers before, to recruit at the highest level. And at the highest level, you recruit those with knowledge from Yoko and different places. So making efforts such as that in order to ensure convictions cannot be a ground for impeachment at all. I don't think Amidu's grounds stand apart from the issue of procurement, potentially.
In such new offices, often they do what you call secondment.
Yes.
So you go to a sister organization and you look for the experts there, and you ask them to be brought to your office. Do you get the impression this is different? That's not what is happening.
Yes, I mean, he's recruiting at the highest level in terms of directors, et cetera, because the whole point is the Office of the Special Prosecution is supposed to prosecute cases. It doesn't matter which party you're in, but it is supposed to be seen as acting because that is their function. So should the Chief Justice set up this committee, they will have to go and look into what is the function of the special prosecutor, and can this rather be said that he is pushing the agenda of the Office of the Special Prosecution by recruiting at the highest levels. So I think that, for me, having read the petition, it is not strong enough, apart from the procurement issue, that if his job is to go after those who are committing procurement infractions within government in particular, and he himself has done that and it can be proven, then perhaps you can impeach him. But it's a very slippery slope. He's the only second special prosecutor. This is not examples of we've seen him receive monies as part of his job, etc. These are glaring examples.
As a lawyer, you know that criticism of the judiciary, as the Supreme Court itself has said once, however rambunctious, is not contempt of court. But we all must make sure that when we criticize the judiciary, we are tempered and measured.
Yes.
For someone at the highest office of the special prosecutor to take judges on the manner he's accused of having done, are you saying that is okay and that should not amount to abuse of the judiciary and to amount to a ground to remove you from office?
I honestly had to go and visit the November 2023 video where the special prosecutor had a press conference in which he criticized judiciary. I also went online and read the entire transcript of what he had said, and I was surprised that it was actually quite measured, in my humble opinion, because I agree with the special prosecutor that our judges do not consider themselves above criticism. And in that video, for instance, he mentioned an example of how a Supreme Court justice gently chided him in open court for not publishing enough articles criticizing their work. And I honestly believe the fact that he cited 4 examples, it was almost an academic
examples of cases that his office was involved in.
Yes, of cases that he was involved in, where it showed glaring examples of individuals' supposed immunity from being investigated and prosecuted. And the entire function of his office is to do that. And had he, for instance, made the remarks about the judiciary personal, or just the wording, I mean, to tell you the truth, the wording was quite measured to me because it was in the context of actual cases.
He may not be doing this in his private capacity as a private practitioner.
Yes.
But you know the ethics of our profession.
Yes. I do know
the rules are clear that if you are involved in a case, you don't comment on the case.
Yes, but he did wait until after certain decisions had been made in terms of injunctions, for instance. And he highlighted the fact that the Office of the Special Prosecutor prioritizes transparency in anti-corruption efforts by issuing media releases after major judicial pronouncements or decisions. And these releases inform the public about the OSP's position on whether the opinion advances the fight against corruption or not. And honestly, I really expected the video to be like over the top and just accusing the judiciary, etc. I've never seen such a measured video in terms of even just reading the transcript afterwards. He cited specific examples of how their work was frustrated.
You haven't read...
I read it. It's actually...
Martin Amidu's, no, you haven't read Martin Amidu's criticism of that. When you say this was measured, Martin says this was over the top. He crossed the red line. He ought to have been whipped into submission that very moment, because that's unimaginable. You don't do that.
Yes, but again, I don't think our judges are above... because, for instance, if a judge happened to listen to these submissions that he made, and I would actually invite our High Court judges to listen to the Special Prosecutor's submissions, and I think Daily Graphic published the entire thing verbatim for their assistance as well, you would actually see what he's getting at is you have set up our independent office in terms of the Act, set up their office to go after corrupt officials, etc. That's their entire function. So
they should be exempted.
And so when you're dealing with particularly powerful people who have large amounts of cash under their bed, etc., and have means of disposing of that cash, when you're fighting white-collared crime, in particular, the movement of cash in bank accounts and under beds, etc., is so fast that you need a judiciary that even overnight can do an injunction and can block it and can preserve the cash until a final court decision, etc. And so he, in a measured tone, cited examples, clear examples, of how a judicial decision had been made, but he does not believe those decisions support his office, and then he cited why. And for me, I think it is a slippery slope to remove him based on such an academic assessment of our judiciary. But if you're going to remove
the judiciary
him... Yes, but
was very unhappy.
Yes.
In fact, there was a summoning of a meeting where he had to attend. We understood that he attended on his own terms. The constitution of even the group, the panel, where he was to go and meet there were certain individuals that there were questions about the caliber or the class of people, you know, who were being brought into a meeting with him that was like he was being taken to the slaughter. But he went there and we understood that he was very unequivocal, unapologetic about what he was doing and insisted that perhaps people do not understand the requirements of such a new office, that such a new office should not be subjected to and limited to, you know, some of these, what people feel are regressive, antiquated rules of shut up, keep quiet, if you're an investigator, don't be seen, don't be heard, and all of that.
Yes. I mean, in fairness, I would invite, I think, the judiciary and anybody interested in this to go online and to just Google the Special Prosecutor's video, November 2023, and also online you'll be able to find the full transcript. And in my humble opinion, I honestly believe that it was extremely measured. And it was measured particularly because he cited examples which meant his office was completely frustrated by their function. And if we look at the Office of the Special Prosecution Act 2017, and in particular Section 3, the functions of the office is to investigate and prosecute cases of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offences, to investigate, to recover and manage the proceeds of corruption, and to cooperate and coordinate with competent authorities. And the judiciary goes to the heart of this mandate.
I need you to hold it on there for me. That's Amanda Clinton.